without further ado, I have the distinguished honor and privilege of presenting to you the Queen of Color, the Mother of Artists, globally acclaimed, award-winning master acrylic artist, and the star of our show, Ginger Cook, as she once again mesmerizes her audience with the daring do's and don'ts of painting with acrylic.
Hi, this is Ginger Cook, and I just want to say that John and I are not doing a live class today. This is why you're watching a pre-recorded video on YouTube, and what we've got a lot of requests for with all the snow scenes. But somebody wrote from Florida and said, listen, you guys, we need a holiday card for someone that lives in the tropics. You know, a Christmas card or something that you can paint. And so I'm going to tell you that right up front. I want you to paint it, sign your own name, go ahead and make, your prints of the card and go ahead and send that out to people. That's fine. This was fun. I show you step by step how to take a little 8x10 canvas and create a little sand Santa Claus, snowman, only he's out of sand. I'm telling you what, I put this bird in about 10 times. It's actually got pretty funny before I finally just got the bird the way I want it. But I left this in there. I'm going to ask John to leave these in here because I think there's this feeling is that, that if you're a really good artist, that everything you do is perfect. And it just isn't so. Everybody has days. And if it's not going well, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You don't panic. This is, I think, a really fun little card, and I want you to use your own imagination. We're going to take you through this step by step. Right now, I'm going to invite you to subscribe to our channel, make happy comments, share this with others. My Facebook page is ginger.cook.92, and if you want to, share your version of this holiday card, because I think some of you are going to come up with some great stuff now that I've explained how we're doing it. And you have a great little ocean painting before you do anything else. So if you didn't want to do that and just paint the ocean, that's fine too. You don't have to put these guys in to make this a fun adventure for you. But in any event, this I think is going to be, this is one of my favorite fun little imaginative pieces for those of you, and again, this is just easy acrylic stuff. The thing I had I had two Posca pens, a white one and a black one, to get the detail. And I put the eye on the bird with that, and did a little bit of the black accents and the belt and the eyes on the snowman. And I used some of this, but mostly it was just white paint, and of course mixing or zinc white for some of this in your clouds. So good. This is I think one of my more favorite holiday themes, and so if you guys like it, please let me know. And again, enjoy watching. Happy holidays from the tropics. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, you guys. We've got a little 8x10 canvas, and we have painted it blue. Someone says, what color blue? I think this was just phthalo blue and white. Now I'm going to put out some more white paint. I haven't got anything left in this tube of white. Get all the rest of the paint out of here, like that. There we go. That tube's about had it. And let's see, we want some ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, diazonine purple, and yellow oxide, and cad yellow medium. I didn't put a sticker out for that, but we definitely want cad yellow medium for this. That's your primary yellow, the yellow that's on the color wheel. Red, yellow, and blue are colors you can't mix. You must own them. Sometimes people understand that. They learned what the primary colors were in school, but they just don't realize that you can't own them. Now we're not using red, we're using cad red medium, which is an orange red. And it has just enough little yellow in it to make it kind of nice. And we're using burnt umber, not black. I can find that somewhere here. A little bit of burnt umber. Kind of squeeze the tube up a bit. See that? Using Matisse, but you certainly could be using any acrylic paint. Heavy body works better. People think they save money buying the cheap student paints, but you don't. You actually cost yourself money. I get such a kick out of people saying, well, I just can't afford the good stuff. You can't afford not to use the good stuff because you use twice as much paint of the cheap stuff and all your time. And then it's not that you can't make the cheap paint work, but you work so much harder at getting the results. It's very frustrating. And I mean, here's a good example of, say, a Liquitex. Let's see, where did my yellow oxide go? I'm looking for that. Somewhere I have some here. Oh, well, let's see, here's the purple. But I like Liquitex heavy body. I like Matisse. I love Golden. Golden often is a little more expensive. You can get really good sales on Matisse and Liquitex because the online stores and stuff like Jerry's Artorama carries Matisse and also Liquitex. But a lot of times Liquitex will really put their stuff on sale, which is a big help. Huge help. Okay, so where did my yellow oxide go here? For instance, this is an example of Golden. And, what happens is, I've seen this at Michael's where they, one thing it doesn't hurt, you've got a cell phone now. Go to the store. When you're going to any art store like Michael's or any of them, go up online and see what this paint normally sells for. Because sometimes companies, I'm not saying who, will mark stuff up and then put it on sale, and it's what you could buy it for anywhere. It's not a deal. So, we all like to save money where we can. Okay, so to get this happy, we had a request for this. That's what's so funny. Someone said, well, you're doing all this snow. I want some sort of Christmas scene that is, that's going to be tropical. So we're going to start up here about 4 fingers up, kind of do a line like that. And I'm going to say my ocean is coming up like that. There's my horizon line. Put a big H here. That's where the sky meets the land or the water. That's your horizon line, okay? And we're going to just start with these 3 sections. So first off, we're going to put a sky in, okay? Well, maybe while we're doing that, I want to have sand. So I'm going to do while I've got it, here's a nice big brush. I'm going to take some burnt umber, some cad red medium, make kind of a reddish brown color, and I'm going to paint the kind of red under here where my sand's going to go. Because when I paint my sand over this, in fact, I want it to, this dark brown to show underneath. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to do. Now, why didn't you just paint that first? Well, because it never hurts to layer paint. It just, by the time you start layering it, it gets so much better. There we go. So we're going to do that. I guess we'll just come across here like that. I don't want it too even, but we're going to come across here like that. While that's drying, I will rinse the brush and I will put in a sky. Now, the thing with this is that we don't want the sky to be too complicated because we're going to have our little sandman here and our wave, and we got some palm trees. So you don't want this too crazy. So you've got to have some areas that are fairly simple. I'm going to take some white up here. That's titanium. And a little bit of this brown color and a tiny bit of phthalo blue, which I did not put out yet. Okay, that's got to be this. Okay? Now, take a little tiny bit of this and that, a little bit of white, and I'm just going to come up here like this, and using the flat of my brush, I'm going to kind of come along here and make kind of a, I don't know, kind of like a little fog bank. Then you take a little ultramarine blue, mix it into that, come up above it, using just the side of this brush. This is a number 12 bright brush, okay? I'm going to just say a little bit more ultramarine blue. Skies are usually darker on the top. I'm kind of coming down at an angle here, and then using the side of this. See this? Let's zoom in, because this is important. Use the side of your brush like this. See that? To just kind of melt these clouds into the other color, like that. And if you want to, you can wipe it off. If you want to come up here with a little bit darker blue up here, you can. Just kind of bring that down and lift. So your sky, the darker part of your sky is going to kind of force your eye there. Now, let's take a little ultramarine blue, kind of, you want this pretty straight here. This is our horizon line, and in most oceans, this is the darkest blue. Now, we don't want a stripe, so we're going to take this and a little bit of the phthalo blue and white. Now, I'm going to come under here like this, kind of blend all this together. Now, this is where a tiny bit of water on your brush can be helpful. Wet your brush and wipe it off. Still using a nice big brush and kind of smooth that out. Let's get more paint, a little more white. Okay, and as we come closer, we're going to do a little more tropical. So I'm going to take a little bit of phthalo blue and yellow and make more of a sort of a tropical green color, kind of a turquoisey blue-green color. Okay, and I'm going to say that close to a little more blue with that. A little more phthalo blue, a little more white. There we go. We're going to say that this is our up front part of our water. Feel like I'm not quite getting the color I want. You know what? We're going to just change something real quick here. I want to do this. What do I got? I knew I had something somewhere. Oh yeah, this is some phthalo green. I'm going to show you. This is a great color. I don't hardly ever use it, but it's great for oceans. I'm going to take a little bit of white and phthalo green. Now look how bright that is. Now we're going to come in here like that. Can't really get that nice, bright, deep color. A little bit of that. Just mix that in there. And here's our tropical water as we come up front. Okay, like that. See? So we've got this sort of gradated ocean. Here's a little bit of ultramarine blue and phthalo green. And let's make this a little darker here, like that. Okay, and then come back here with a little bit of ultramarine blue. Make it a little bit darker back here. So you can layer this in, have something fairly dramatic. There we go. Now take some mixing white or zinc white and come in here like this, just using the edge of this, and just sort of streak this. Don't get it very thin. Just sort of streak it like that to sort of create some water. Very thin, then stop. Okay? There you go. So we've got that effect. I'm going to take some more of this on the same brush now. This is just, I haven't dried anything. This is just zinc white. Zinc white is a transparent white. I'm going to say that up here toward my beach, I'm going to just kind of bend it down this way. Do you see how I'm bending the, I'm going to say that there's my water coming into the shore like that. I'll do it again. So I have it just on one side. Now I'm going to put it here and I'm going to bend it and drag it along. Put the paint just on one side. Practice this. This is a good trick. Push straight down, then kind of bend it towards you. I'm going to say that there's another, a little bit of the water coming through. Let's do it one more time. Just partially here like that. There you go. There's a little bit of our water. See? How cool is that? Now we don't have to have any too exciting waves. Nothing too busy, right? Nothing too busy at all. And I want to get the chalk off of my clouds. So I'm going to take a little bit of that white and brown maybe. Just say that, here, let's have a little bit of zinc, titanium white. I want you to see the difference. Here's some titanium white. We're going to say there's some clouds up here. Just using the side of our brush. Here's some clouds coming up here. Kind of some ocean clouds. Like that. There you go. There. Okay, ocean clouds. We got this. There's our, let's pull that off like that. So, okay, so now at this point, you know, what could you do something else? Could you say you had a wave back in here? Remember, when waves raise up, they're always darker. So if I said that this was a wave that was raising up here, like that, just by making this dark right here, it's a little trick. Then I could take the same brush, pinch it off, a little bit of time, come right on the top of this, and just do this. Just pull it off. There you go, like that. So that's, I'm saying, now it's got to be dark behind it though. So that was the titanium white. So I've got to come behind this, darken this up just a hair. Maybe we'll just pull it down like that. A little bit like that. Here's a little bit more blue. See? There. Okay. There's our little wave, and I think I could take a smaller brush like this. Here's a little short ruby satin silver angle, 3/8 inch. I'm going to just say I want to bring this down like this, because waves generally are kind of peaking. We're going to say it's peaking up here and just kind of coming into the shore. You know, I don't like that one. All right, so you've done a wave and you hate it. So now what? All right, erase it. Water. Just sort of pull it out like this and just do it again. I know I want it darker back here, so I'll put some more dark, a little bit of ultramarine blue, put some more dark back here, and I want a dark wave here like that, a little bit lighter. I want you to see this because you're gonna say, well, she did it in 3 strokes, but you don't have to. You don't always luck out like that. Sometimes you can paint it, it just doesn't work. Own it and just say, okay, so now I'm gonna say, here's my top of this wave like that. It's coming off this way. And I want a little bit darker under here. to indicate that that's where the wave is curling up, and I'm kind of curving it like that, then bringing it down. There you go. All right, so there's our waves coming into shore, and then what we would say that happened in front of here is we would have some foam like that came this way, just kind of, there we go. So we got, that's really, we just can't do any more water than that, okay? So I'm going to bring this wave down. I know we're playing here, but I want you to just see it. I'm going to bring, so I can't ever just do something simple, right? I'm going to bring this down like here. Just take a little titanium and just indicate it's coming, it's just curling. All right, there you go. Okay, so there it is, and maybe it's doing that here too, you know? Remember the poem when I was a kid? Two little waves came rushing to the shore. One died with a yawn, the other with a roar. All right, so that's a pretty nice little ocean. If we did nothing else, please make sure that this is level. That means that this horizon line is really straight back here. If you get it tippy, it's going to look just strange. So here, I want to make sure that mine's straight. So I fooled around with those clouds. Okay, so there you go. There's my horizon line. There's my ocean that's sort of tapering off into nothing. Here's our front beach, like that. Now we're going to dry everything, and that's the thing. And while we're drying it, I'm taking a moment to dry. I'm going to ask John to slip into our video some of the new things that we're doing that you might really like. So I'm going to just take a moment, clap, let him know that that's where he's got to edit this. And I'm going to show you some great paintings we're doing, and I will be drying this, and when I come back, it'll be dry, and we'll do our next step. Okay, you guys, while I was drying this, I wanted to just take a moment and remind you, if you're into sort of the holiday spirit and you want to get more of videos that are, kind of cute like this and have that, this is our village collection. We have a brand new store, which John is going to put the link up here for, gingercooklive.gallery. When you go to you click on the store, we have a brand new website just for our store. And these are downloadable own-it-yourself videos, and you can see where they're little 6x8 gallery wrap canvases that you paint all the way around. There's like 7 of these paintings in our village collection. Here's sort of a little fun one with a snowman. Of course, this one's in the snow, and a little gazebo. And honestly, these are some of my favorite ones that we've done this year. Our fountain. We've got a little boutique, kind of a little bridal boutique with a little groom. I mean, depending on if you want to do one of these and give these as a gift, or just make these as a card. In other words, if you're looking for a holiday card, you could download the lesson and just do these on a plain 8x10 canvas and then make these as a holiday card too. I think that would be really fun. So this is part of our European Winter Village collection. And again, there's like 8 videos. We have a little toy shop, which I didn't bring. But anyway, and there's a bakery. Did I put the bakery in here? Yeah, there's our bakery. Anyway, there's 7 in the set, and I hope you guys like this if you're enjoying this kind of thing. And now let's get back to our painting and see how we complete it. Thanks. Okay, so you can see, look, when you back this up, we've got a pretty nice painting without doing anything. Now what we need to do, I'm going to get a clean brush, is we need to put the sand on. This is dry. So I'm going to take a little yellow oxide and a tiny bit of cad red medium and a little bit of titanium white, a little more yellow oxide. I've got this sort of sandy color, maybe a touch of purple. That's good, just a touch of purple. Kind of sand that up there. See that? All right, now what I'm going to do is wipe the paint off my brush. I'm going to come along here like this, and I'm just going to drag at the flat of my brush over this. Going to leave a little bit of the darker line here, like that. Okay, over my beach here. I'm so that there's my sand, and I'm just not getting a lot of paint because I want some of that dark brown to show through. So I'll get some more, wipe off the excess like that. Come this way. Maybe I want it a little bit lighter in the front, so a little bit more white to that. Sand tends to be lighter as it gets back from the beach, and when it's up close like this, sometimes it's been wet so much that it tends to be a little darker toward the water. Just, sometimes you just have to take a moment and observe this stuff, okay? So we're going to say that that's a little bit lighter than I want. Maybe just get a little more purple with that, a little bit of yellow, cad red, just kind of Let's make our color again. I lost that. Wipe it off. Alright, there we go. Now, here's our sandy beach. Not that interesting yet, but there it is. Okay, now let's take a little more purple with this and a little bit of blue and mix in there. I'm going to show you what happens when let's see, a little more purple. When sand gets wet, it changes color. You know what I mean? When the sand's wet. So you want to put a little bit of this. You want to just say that there's something happened here. Just do a little something like that. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to say that I've got some. Here's a small. Let's see. Here's a small little angle brush. Let's take a little white. I'm going to come along here like this and just add a little bit more foam to our sand here where I kind of lost it like that. Just same idea as I'm doing with the big brush. Tilt it and then kind of lean it over. Okay, I'm going to say that there's some of our lighter water up here like that. There you go. There you go. Like that. Something like that. Now we've got this sort of wet sand. And now we have to just stop a minute and we're going to dry it one more time. Okay, so now here I want a palm tree that's going to kind of be leaning up here. It's going to stop here. It's going to start here like this. So I got some light chalk here. What do I got in this little box? Oh yeah, here's some light chalk. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to start here and come just do a few little dots like that because it's wider at the base. Comes on up like this, okay? That's going to be my palm tree. And I think that that's okay. That's going to be our palm tree. Let's take some burnt umber now and a little ultramarine blue. And let's paint that in. Now the first thing we're going to do is I need a little bit of water in a cup. Because I need a tiny bit of water on. I don't want to dip my brush in the water because I don't want to soak it. I just want it on the first 10% of the brush, okay? Could get a little bit more flow going with this. You don't want it too thin or it won't cover, so you still have to have enough paint where it covers. We're going to remember it's wider down here. Don't outline it. Start in the middle and work your way out. Okay? Okay, there you go. Work your way out. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn it like this. I'm going to take a little bit of yellow oxide, cad red medium, like that, and I'm going to come this way, and I'm going to say that I've got some light. Let's put a little white on that too, a little bit of white. I'm going to say I've got some white. Well, I've got some light coming this way, and I'm just going to pull it around here like that, so I've got the dark edge. There you go. There's the outside of my tree, okay? The outside of my palm tree. And then, now that I've done that, I'll take a little purple and white and yellow and do the other side, okay? So this is, you've kind of drawn it in. Now you're going to do the same thing. Let's get a little bit of purple, maybe purple and brown. Let's try that. There we go. So we're going to say it's wider at the base. You kind of overlap that. You don't want to stripe. So now here's the trick. You kind of drew it in there. Now you've given it a shape. You've given it some texture just by doing that. See what a difference that makes when you do that. And let's just, there you go, like that. So I need to bring some yellow oxide this way. It wouldn't hurt to dry this. Okay, but that's pretty good, okay? So there's our tree. Now, in order for our tree to be totally authentic, we need to bury it in some sand. So let's get some of our sand color here. and bury it in the sand, okay, like that. And so it should be kind of at an angle, so it's buried in the sand, and we would probably have a shadow. Well, we'll do a shadow later. All right, so we're going to come up like this from the palm tree, like this. Going to make some umbrella spokes, see, right? Like that. Just using purple for right now. I'm going to bring one across this way. All right, those are my umbrella spokes for the palm tree. Now, what most people do wrong when they do palm trees is I'm going to take some phthalo green and yellow now and make a very bright green. Take a little cad red medium, put in it, a little more green. Okay, so now I'm going to come up here like this, and right on top, from the top of this, I'm going to come this way using just my little angle brush. If you need to, you can pinch it, and so that you have just, you know, you're saying that there's stuff. It's not a tooth. It's not. Let's put a little phthalo blue with that too. It is not a comb. When you come up here like this, right from the center. So what you're not doing is this. Please don't do that. You're curving from the top and it's coming down. Think of bangs or something that curving like that. And the same thing with this one. We're starting with the darkest greens, like that. We're coming off the top of that, and I'm going to wet it, pinch it, because I'm not getting a fine line anymore. Your fine line a lot of times will depend on how smooth your canvas is. We did not sand this canvas before we started, and it really makes a difference. But here we go. Here's a lighter green one showing up in our water. I'm going to have it bring the top of that around. There's our palm tree. Now let's start again, a little bit of water. Let's just get kind of more of a liquidy green, okay? Now this one's coming up like this. See, I'm just using the just the corner of this brush. That's all I'm using. Show you again, just the corner of this brush. Okay, and the same thing here. Practice this on a separate piece of paper before you do it on your tree. Dry your tree before you do this too. So I'm going to say that this is coming down here like that, but this one, let's see, a little bit of water. This one's coming off the top of this. Could have made that dark green too, doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, let's skip this one again. So here's our want some darker greens underneath. There we go. And now I'm going to take some yellow oxide and white and phthalo green like that. Now, here's our lighter color right on top. Let's get a little more white with that. I want to lighten this up some. Okay, so the lights are going to hit the top of these a little more. Okay, like that. All right, so we've got a very nice palm tree. We don't have to say much. Let's just bring this one up like this out of the top. There we go. I was just not talking about it, okay? Now, normally they'd have even more palm fronds than this, but that's pretty good, okay? So I'm going to zoom back out. And you can still see the ocean. You've got our little cloud bank. You can see our little palm tree, right? And I think I want a little bit of, this is probably dried a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of yellow oxide and white. Tiny bit of purple with that, not much. Just the teeniest bit, okay? And I'm going to, in order for this to show up, I need to do a few little lighter, need some lighter highlights on my palm tree. So I'm going to start right here, like this. Okay, bring that around a little bit, just a few. Okay, there you go. Okay, so there you go. So your palm tree has to kind of show up. Wherever there's a light, there's a dark. Okay, good. Now I'm going to put in my sand snowman. I'm going to say I've got one here. And we're going to make him a two-part snowman. Let's make him pretty fat. Let's make him pretty fat because he's going to be out of sand. Okay. And so let's make that sand color again. And then make him a little bit lighter. Take a little bit of brown with that. Make him a little bit lighter. More titanium white with that, I think. Let's just say, here's our little sand snowman. We're going to start with a little circle here. Here's another one. Okay, now, like anything that's round, we're saying the light's coming from this direction. So this side of him's got to be lighter than that side. So how do you get the difference between, think about this, how are you going to get, this is with any object, how do you, so you don't have a patch, just take your back of your brush and just sort of smudge that out. You could use your finger, whatever. Smudge that out. I'm going to say that the other side of him is darker, so I'll take a little yellow oxide and purple, and I'm going to say that this is our shadow side of our snowman, which is made out of sand. Okay, he's our sand one. Okay, so that's our shadow side, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to wet the brush, and then I'm going to just use the back of the brush like this to sort of smudge that out. Let's warm this up a bit. Add a little bit of a warmer sand color to this. So here he is. We're saying that he's warmer like that. So we want to convey the idea that he's out of the sand stuff. Okay, let's get a little bit more white here. Maybe some yellow. Let's try that. Add yellow oxide, more white. Here we go. Pinching it on here like this. Now, okay, you see me pinch the rag, like that. And just say this is our lightest side, and he sort of matches the sand color here. And I think I need a little bit more of a shadow, this purple shadow color right here on this side right here. And now, at the bottom of this, he's going to have a shadow coming out beside him like this. It's going this way. He's got to have a little shadow. Let's say he's got a shadow back here too, right? And then what I want to do is, still don't have a big enough highlight on him. I'm looking at that and I'm not happy enough with the highlight. So I'm just going to add a highlight here like this. And then I'm going to come back into my shadow color, and I'm going to say that I've got a shadow that's going to be running this way from my palm tree, like this. See, like this. This way from the palm tree. Now this is tricky. We're going to use a little mixing white with this purple to pull this off. Okay. There's the shadow from my palm tree, and then it's going to come. Let's put a little yellow with that. That yellow grays purple, because yellow is opposite purple on the color wheel. So okay, so shadows are start a little bit darker next to the tree, and then it's going to come. See if I can get some water on the brush to make that happen. These have got to come, just like this. Okay, there we go. Something like that. We're going to say that there's a. Here, let's bring one of these around like this. It doesn't actually have to match anything. It just has to sort of go with your other sand color. Like that. Okay, so let's say that it's going. I'm going to just, put some, there we go, something like that. So that I want to suggest is if you get them if you don't get them thin enough, just come back with some sand color and skinny them up, right? So, because I want to say that these are kind of coming off here like that from this tree, okay, like that. We'll say that that's happening that way. Okay, so now what? I like this light color here. I'm going to come up in front of the beach and lighten my sand up right here. There we go. And the same over here. Let's lighten this up just a bit. Like that. And I want to say that I've got some light sand, kind of, and he's sitting in the sand, but I want to pile him up. I want to say that it's piled up in front here too, so that it's just not, it's our purple. Okay, so that it's sort of piled up and not doing that. So he's in the, he's in your sand. He's not just sitting on top. He's sort of buried. Okay, like that. Let's just see if we can make that work. Okay, this needs to be a little darker. Here's our darker purple right here, so that's going to show. Here we go. All right. Get a little bit of color. Test your color every once in a while. Don't just rely on it being okay. And I think I still want it a little bit darker off the shadow from here, this side of it. Ooh, gotta put the yellow in too bright. Kind of dull that shadow down here. There's our shadow from our little guy here. Okay. Here's our shadow here, coming this way. Like that. There we go. In fact, I think it could even come up and over him, but we'll see. I don't know if it would. I have to think about that. Maybe it wouldn't. So, okay. I'm going to dry that and just change that. Okay, so drying that, and I'm going to just put my little guy back like this. There we go. There he is sitting on my sand like that. Better. Okay. Here's our guy, our little sand guy. Little sand guy like that. Here we go. Little sand guy. Here's some more sand. The thing I love about acrylics is that, let's just make a little orange sand too. I think my sand got a little yellow. Let's get a little orange in here. And just kind of keep looking for new places to mix colors. I want the sand to be a little warmer, like that. Kind of indicates heat when it's like this. I'm going to just say, here's some more sand color in here like that. I'm going to put a little bit more on him. There we go. Okay, so now so far he looks like a bowling ball. He doesn't look like a little snowman. But but this is where it comes. I'm looking at this guy. Okay, what can I do? Here's a little bit more white, kind of lightening some of this up here, like that. I'm going to lighten my sand up in front of my tree. Okay. I'm going to put even some of the sand color out into the water too. Maybe just suggest that there might be some out this way too. Okay. All right. So now, in order for him to look cute. Anyway, so I'm at the beach and I want to say I've got a snowman and I've got to, but I've made him out of sand. So how am I going to do that? Okay, so let's just make that a little smaller, not so wide. All right, so now how we're going to do that? Well, one thing we can do, which is, what is that? Would be one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my beach around a little bit like this. I'm going to change the angle of my beach. Like that, and I'm doing that because I want to bring your eye back. So I'm going to say that there's the angle of my beach like this. That's easy. Say the beach is coming around here like this, so here's a little bit of this purple that's doing this. So you see it is to change something. Here's a little bit of white and blue. And we'll just make that very small. Just change the beach going that way. I like that better. I think I want to change the beach going up this way too. There. I want the beach to go up this way. And just a little bit of white. Okay, so we got the beach. You're walking down the beach, and there we're going to see this guy. So, one thing for sure, now I think what we need is we need a hat. We've got some Cad Red Medium here, and I want to put like a little hat on him, like this, a little Santa hat. Make sure my brush is now. Already you're seeing it, right? But I just want you to see how you might see it. Okay, so here's my, and I'm going to say that there's my Santa hat right here like this. It's coming down here like this, and then maybe he's got a little scarf that's coming around his little self like that. And there's my little scarf. Now I'm going to dry that because we're dealing with red, blues, and all kinds of colors. So we have to stop and dry that much, okay? So if you like that and you're not going to take it off, dry that. Okay, so let's find a find a tinier brush here. Let's see, that's bigger, want littler. All right, here's a little, need a teeny little brush. What do I got? All right, there you go. There's a nice little clean one. It's brand new. This is a 3/8, but it's brand new, so it should be a little sharper. Now, my white is all messed up. You see that over here? It's just totally messed up. So I got to have some new white somewhere else. And that's the zinc. I don't want that. I want some new titanium white somewhere else. Okay, here we go. Now, let's just move that. Got that in the green. Don't want to do that. All right, new place for white because I got that in the green. All right, rinse the brush. And sometimes if you're wiping on a rag and you've been using the same rag for a while, you're actually picking up paint off the rag. So change your rag too. All right, so here's my rag. So I'm going to say that here is my little hat here. I'm touching this, and now this red's still wet, so that's not going to work. Hang on. All right. Okay, there's my little hat. Now I'm going to say that there's my, I want some stripes. Now this is where your Posca pens could be very handy. You could just, what are we talking about? I'm just saying if you're having trouble with small lines, just take, is that one of the Poscas? Yeah, just take it. Feel the little thing going, right? Okay, now I'm going to use just my pen to do my stripes with. Notice they're changing direction as they go around his this way, and they're coming this way. Okay, I'll shake them up a little bit more. Yeah, let's make sure we've got some ink coming out. This is one of the fine ones. This is a POSCA, and it's an 07. It's one of the finer ones. Okay, like that. I'm going to say that's coming around here like that. Okay. So I'm going to say that I'm going to take one of my other Posca pens. This is a good one to do that with if you're, because we're making this for a card. First off, I need a sign on the, we need a sign. We need a sign on our, probably a dark brown sign. We need a sign on our, here, let's make it jaggedy this direction. Make it big enough where we can write on it. There's a sign on our palm tree so that we can write something. That would be good. And let's see, the top of the sign should be a bit lighter, like that. There we go. So where's my purple here? I think his shadow would be around here. It'd be a little bit rounder here, like this, and kind of go off this way. I'm thinking from behind here, like that, from him. Just going to stick that there like that for now. Let's see where we are. I want some more shadows. This is the difference between a brand new brush and one that's not new. Look at the difference in the leverage I've got on those palm trees and the shadow. I'm just saying, I just want you to see the difference, because it's huge. Okay, so I'm going to just see the difference. I'm telling you, the difference between a new and an old brush is huge. Okay, here we go. I'm saying there's our shadow. There's a shadow under that sign. No, it can't come that way. Never mind. Erase. Okay, so it's going to come this way under the sign. Right, there's the shadow under the sign. There's the shadow for the palm tree. And I think what we need is all right, so this is my best new brush. So what I'm going to do, so that I don't get it confused with the less than next blue ruby satin silver brush. These are the angle brushes, and I want to just suggest that if you're having trouble finding these, my friends over there at thebrushguys.com. So I'm going to put tape on it so I know this is one of the ones I want to, like new best one, okay? Is that if you use my name, Ginger Cook, all one word, under the discount code, you get 5% off. They ship globally. I love these guys. They're just absolutely great. Okay, so now we're going to a brand new Posca pen. You want to shake these for about an hour. I had a black one somewhere. I think I took it to the other room. We have 2 studios that we film in. I'm pretty sure I took this to the other room. So let's just open this one up. Okay, after you've shaken it, you pull off the paper. Then what you do, come over here very gently. Please don't smash this into something. These are fine point tips. Don't put it in any paint. I'm just looking for a nice place to pump the ink out, right? So make sure that it's pumped out. And if it's not, put the cap back on, snap it, and do it again. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to say that he's got happy face, little eyes, like that. That's cute, right? And we're going to give him a black belt. Not like karate, but like a black belt with a buckle. Like that. It's got a little belt right there. And let's see, what else do I want to put on there? Let's see. Okay, now these take about 5 minutes to dry. These Posca pens, they take a little time to dry. So you're kind of watching me make this painting up together. So I'm going to dry this. There we go. And then I'm going to add they have a silver pen, which you could use, but I'm going to let's just keep it to white and black for now. Here's the belt buckle like that. Okay, something like that. And there's our little belt buckle. Now, I'm going to say on here like this, we're going to say Happy Holidays. Now here's the secret. You know this is how much you've got. This is how much room you've got, right? You've got this much room to write anything, and you want the word Happy or Merry Christmas. What does it matter what you're writing? So how we could spell it right. Holidays instead of Happy Holidads. Okay, but you get the idea. Write it first on a piece of tape so that you can see where you've got to fit it, right? So maybe I like that one. I like that one. So next, let's just try it again. That's what the tape's for. Let's try a new thing. Let's just try that again. I'm going to go from here to here, right? I'm going to write barely have room for that, right? So then, all right, so that's not good. So look, practice. Don't just promise you. It's so worth it, right? Figure out how you're going to do it. All right, that's going to work, okay? So now that I know that that's going to work, then I'm going to take my white pen, shake it up really, really well. Make sure this is dry. I mean, really, that has to be dry. You can't be doing this on wet paint. So dry, yeah. Okay, so now kind of clean off the cap, right? All right, here we go. I'm not pushing hard. Okay. All right. So that's what you're gonna, that is, the trick. You're going. That's the trick with that is to do that. Now, if you wanted to say that you had, I mean, how decorated do you want to make this? Do you want to give him some eyebrows or a little mustache? You want to give him a little bit of a beard? It's John's influence, you guys. Okay? A little bit of John's influence there with the mustache and the beard. I don't know what to tell you. Okay? So then, I think I mean, that's cute so far. Now what? Well, we could now this is where it gets sort of fun. We could decorate our tree. Do we want lights all the way up it, or do we want to have some lights kind of hanging in from here like this? You want to say that there's, I mean, we're really going for it now, so if we don't like it, we're going to be sorry, right? We're going to say that there's some lights coming along here like this. Okay, let's say that there's some kind of looping down here. Okay, there's some lights on our tree here. Maybe something should be looping off of this one too. Not sure how you would string a palm tree. Most people would have strung it just around the trunk, but maybe you've got a better idea than I do on how to do that, right? And so then I would probably want some colors on that. So I might take a small little brush and some water. Okay, let's we've done white, so I could probably get away with some colored lights, right? I mean, I'm gonna just yellow only paints over white, so I'm just doing a few of these yellow. We'll do some others, maybe some brighter colors like that. Okay, there's some lights here. Am I good? Like that. See, that's cute already. Now, what if we did some red ones? I'm gonna balance that out here. Honestly, you could. This is where your imagination is probably much better than mine. I can teach anybody to paint. I can't teach you a good idea. And you may have a much better idea. Just, Ginger, have you never decorated a palm tree in your life? And I'm going, no, I never have. And then we're, well, then I don't know what to tell you. You should, so we're going to This is our, all right, so this is for our friends that live in faraway places that feel like, I think there should be something up here. Don't you think there should be a star or something in the top of this tree? Anybody else think that? Like right there, instead of a coconut, maybe some sort of little star? Well, if it wasn't a star, there sure could be a seagull sitting here, like right here on the edge of this branch. Here, let's just, I want to do this like that, top of the branch here. And then I want to say that there's a seagull who would be white and black, right? Sitting on here, and I think it's easier to put him in with a pen, don't you guys think so? We'll make it, give him an orange beak, but here's our seagull sitting, it kind of looks like a crow, but give me a chance and we'll fix it, right? There's our little seagull sitting on top of the, alright, so you know what? Ginger's making up the seagull, and this is not working, so let me show you what you do. You're going, oh no, please don't tell me you're going to do that. I'm going to show you. So I'm not loving the seagull, but I want a seagull there. But you know what I have to have? I have to have a picture of a seagull. So, I have to have a reference. I'm not going to make up seagulls. So I'm just going to just erase seagull. You can erase these pens as long as, I'm going to put a seagull there, but not that one, okay? So, all right, so we need a seagull there, and I need something up here. I could put some more of these, we could, you know, kind of wind these up at the top like this to keep coming up further, for sure. And say that the trees keep going up, and that's cute too. We can do that. We'll do that for now. But if you want to put a star or something up there, you could. There's a little some red ones. There's some yellow ones. I just did yellow and a cad red medium for the lights. But I mean, you could put green or anything. I don't think the green would show up that well in the tree, which is why I didn't do that. I think we need another bright yellow one here. Just suggest that there's something going up here. There we go. There. All right, so there's the lights on our tree. We'll take a little yellow oxide and lighten up the top of this now. And the top of these little, where I did the white pen right like that. There you go. Top of that board. Now what? Oh yeah, I remember what I was going to do. This is all coming back to me now. I've got to get a picture of a seagull, which I will do. But right now I think I need, what do we need? I need more white around his mouth like this for the mustache. That needed to be more exaggerated like that. There we go. Okay, better for the beard. So we either have to do a couple sand buckets, little sand pail to indicate that somebody was doing something, right? So let's say, what if we had a bright green bucket? That would be my choice. Bright green bucket. Okay, and that should be kind of dark green on the inside. And then to make it look like it's more round, you want a little bit darker on the shadow side and a little bit lighter on the light side. There's your bucket, right? Now, if you want your bucket to look like it's in sand, then you've got to take a little sand color and put in front of the bucket like that. Let's kind of get our sand color back. If you're going to need a lot of sand, I should tell people that in the introduction. You're going to need a lot of sand. Okay, so there's our sand color, and I want a little bit of purple behind the bucket. to indicate that it's in shadow. There you go, right like that. Alright, so there's my little bucket, and then probably it would have a yellow stripe on it like this on the top rim. Like that, and then it would probably have something very dark on the inside. The dark green isn't going to do it, so let's just make it a little bit darker in there, okay, like that. And then we have to dry that, and then there'd probably be a shovel sticking out of it. For sure, wouldn't there be? So we could dry this and then put the shovel, probably easier. How about a nutcracker? Did you know that Cinnamon and I, one Christmas, we did a whole series of nutcrackers, and this is another one on YouTube. Now imagine, this one's done like a cute cupcake, but if you were talking about a holiday theme, this is where imagination can really help you, right? Why don't you do a nutcracker in beachwear? With the surfboard behind him. You can do a lot of different things. Let your imagination roll. Once you get the basic outline of and how to do a nutcracker, how you decorate him is like paper dolls. It's really simple. So I love this one because he's on this little piece of candy. He's all in the pink and white with the cupcake for a head. You could make a more traditional one. But again, this is a video that we have on YouTube. Check out our holiday playlist, you guys. Is that dry? Yeah. So then I'm going to say I've got a shovel. I don't think I need a reference photo for that. I just need to have the probably facing this way. There's the top of my shovel here, sticking out of the sand like that into the bucket. Okay, so then if I'm saying that's there, then we want to bury it in there. Now, I don't think it would be a white shovel, so it should be some sort of color. So let's make it kind of an orange shovel. Let's make it a light orange shovel. That ought to be good, right? All right, there's our shovel sticking out of the bucket. And what else could we put? Oh yeah, for sure we want a little bit of a light highlight on our hat. Wow, what is that? A little bit of a light highlight. Let's take this brush away and use the new one. This one is all right, so a little bit of a light highlight here, something a little bit lighter on the hat, right, like that. Here we go. Yeah, like that. Maybe a little bit darker on this side. Okay. Just small little things like that make a difference. Little bucket, little shovel. And you could have done little presents too. And I'm looking at my shovel, and I feel like I don't quite have a shovel there yet. Okay, so let's take can't do that. Let's try a little purple and yellow. Here's the green. Let's just come in front of my shovel like that, behind it. My bucket. There we go. Better. Shovel looks like it's sort of stuck in there now. And I still want my light yellow rim around the bucket. Oh yeah, and then there should be there we go. That says bucket, doesn't it? When you put the handle on it. Look at that wonderful curve on these brushes when they're new. And you've taken really good care of them. Look at that. Isn't that cool? There we go. Okay. There's the handle on the bucket. Well, you know what that could have been instead of a shovel? You could have done a bottle of champagne, too. That would have been cute. Some champagne and ice. I'm just saying, whatever you put in your bucket, I'm just telling you, this is, kind of an idea for a card, but it doesn't have to be, it just doesn't have to be, what I did. I'm just giving you an example. All right, so we're just going to increase we need the damp sand here increased back here like this. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's our church around the corner here. There we go. Okay, so now we've got that, and we want it a little bit darker next to you. our shadow here. And let's see, what do we got here? Oh, yeah, like that. Ooh, that's pretty. All right, so I think I still could do a little more of that with the playing with my shadows here on that. It kind of, they really wouldn't technically be this way, but I feel like they're cool if they were, so we're doing it anyway. How's that? Technically, it's not exactly how they would be in real life, but I like the shadows. So now, see, I want to lighten up this shadow here a little bit. Take a little mixing white and lighten this one up. There goes a shadow for that sign. That's a little too light, just kind of a compromise here. There we go. For my sign. And let's see, what else could we put on the on our snow guy? I'm thinking. You've got to give me a second here. I'm thinking. We're designing this together, so if we were doing this live, I'd be having you shout out things to me. Okay, and I'd definitely be having you shout out things to me. Okay, so there's our little sand guy, our little bucket. Oh yeah, we wanted a seagull here. And so what I have to do is now is find myself a picture of a seagull. So, because that is, about the most effective way. In other words, rather than make it up, I could put some up in the, flying up here like this. There you go, like this. I don't need to have a reference photo for these. Okay, so we have 4. You always want like 5. Here's a tiny one back there, like that. We've got some seagulls there just kind of flying in the background. The closer they are, the larger they are. So the tiniest ones would be far away, but you can say there's some seagulls. I mean, some people might have wanted a seagull on his hat. Here's a little bit of white highlight on the top of his bucket like that. Okay. A little stripe around the bucket, make it a little bit more. I think some champagne. I'm telling you what, the bucket's okay, but I think a bottle of champagne is much cooler than the shovel. But we'll go with the shovel. Okay, but really, honestly, just a little presents would be cute too. You don't want to get too messed up. Okay, so we said that there was going to be a bird here. So let me just take my iPad. I've got an iPad here, and I'm gonna search a bird. Okay, I'm gonna go up here and see if I can't find myself a bird. Google knows where everything is, right? I just need a I need a reference photo. That's photos. I don't have any particular photos of any birds, but I bet I could find a search. I think I've got Google on here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. So I'm going to type in search. Okay, I'm going to type in. If you're not doing this, type in new search. We're going to type in SEAGUL image. Seagull image, and then we're going to go. All right, you guys. So so isn't that better? I mean, just here it is, but we don't want that one. I want, what else you got? I want one that's going to look like it's going to be sitting on I need one sitting like this, right? Exactly like this. I need a seagull sitting on something, on my post. There, see? How perfect is that? Do you see that? So that's what I need. So I'm going to say that I've got this little seagull. Now that I see it, now it's much better for me. I have to tell you, it's much better. So I'm going to say, here's his body, like this. And then he's got this round top of his head like this. There's the circle for his head. Okay, and then he's got a beak coming out this way. And then his back is doing this, like that, more wide. Okay, so here's more head. And then he's got a tail coming like this. We're going to lose a little bit of the sign, like this. And so now Alright, so that's general. You're going, really? That doesn't look anything like a seagull, but you gotta bear with me here. That's what we're saying is our seagull. So I'm gonna paint him in now. I'm gonna paint my little shape in. I think he's got more of a rounded tummy, which I didn't quite get with the pen, but I can fix that. I'm gonna come around here with that little brush and say, here's my more rounded tummy. I don't want the paint too thick, and then here's his tail coming off it this way. Okay, and then I'm going to round his tummy like this. And I've got less beak. I've got too much beak, but we can fix that. Okay, I've got too much beak, but we're fixing that. It's a very big seagull. It's a ginormous seagull. Well, that's this is a ginormous seagull. All right, so, all right. New plan. New plan. Okay, fine. New plan. Dry that. Just dry all that. That's okay. So basically, I need this little seagull. He can't, his head's got to be, here's his little body. His head's got to be right like this. You know, here's his little head. We're going to keep trying until we get him. You know, I mean, honestly, that's what you got to do. We're going to try until we get him. Here's his little head, right like that. His little body. And his tail's coming. It's almost like a U. If you just thought about the letter a U, and then with some wings coming down off the back, and we're going to get him because of the color. And his head's up a little higher. I think that's where I got in trouble before with his body, and then his little feeties are sticking down here like that on my post. Now it looks like an owl. I love this, don't you? I mean, I'm just saying that, you know, this is one of those days, right? We're going, how hard could it be to get a seagull? So where's a pointed brush? This is not going to work. So I need a pointed brush. I will get it, all right? I will get it. Maybe I need a different seagull. So what am I missing here? I think I'm... Okay, I see what I'm missing. I see exactly what I'm missing. All right, you guys, hang in there. This is seagull number 24. All right, that's okay. All right, seagull number 24. I got it now. All right, so we're going to start... I'm going to start with the legs, because he's got to be on... He's got to be up here like this. He's pretty tall, okay? So there's his legs. And so he's facing this way. Like that, and there's his body. I mean, it's like an almond shape. Okay, so really, there's nothing complicated about this bird. I just didn't want to go into my decorations, but I guess I'm going to have to. And then his tail's going to come off of here like that, longer. There we go. When in doubt, paint it out. You like that saying? When in doubt, paint it out. Okay, so let's kind of zoom in. I think we finally have a seagull. But, you know, just go with yourself a little bit here. Don't panic about these things. If you didn't get it the first time, and the thing of it is, you know what it's got to look like. So rather than just settle, fix it. All right, so I've got this little head right here is interfering with my bulb. All right, so now if I'm generally happy with this shape, I'm telling you what, this brush is not the thing to paint this in with. This little pointy brush is too long a filament. All right, but there you go. Their heads come back a little bit like this, and then their body's coming down like this, and then you've got your tail. All right, so then you've got your legs, which are quite long. I'm doing that, okay? Somewhere on our sign. Okay, so then let's see. Let's take our beak, and then I'm going to take some blue, because see, this yellow ornament is messing up the head. Does that make sense? So his tummy has to come around like this. Where did I put that water? I bet I knocked it over. Did I? No. Awesome. I didn't. So, all right, so I'm going to come around here like this. You might find a better picture of a seagull than I just did. Okay, so I want to come around here with his tummy, so it's sort of a combination of white and dark, and we're going to give him a little bit smaller beak than I just did. Okay. So we've got a white crow so far. I love it. We have a white crow, so we got to fix the shape. His head comes back. The reason his head's coming back like this and back into the white. His head comes back like this. Okay. And then his body comes out in front. So this big chest. And then his body's coming out like this. And we've got this, he's got a longer beak, but it's not quite that long. So I'm going to make it smaller. Like that. Just put a little green back. I mean, we're getting there. So if I just, that's fine. If you're, not every day is the best day you've ever painted, but it's okay. So we're going to get it. But references do help. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of blue back under here, under his wings, and put a little bit of blue back. It's not like you can't put the paint back. This is not a big deal, okay? So, this is still not right. It's okay. But I can see that it's not right, so that's all right. As long as I can tell that it's not right, then I'm okay. This is going, and I still want this chest to come out like that, okay? So we're going to say the underside of this is in a little shadow anyway, so it's kind of a blue color, like that. And I think what the problem is that we do need a lot more tail than I've given him. Back out here like that. There's a lot more tail on this guy. And there we go, like that. Okay, so there. All right, so now he has to have his colors on him, or he's not going to be right. So we're gonna dry him now. I'm pretty happy with this. I haven't dried anything yet. You saw that, right? But I'm gonna have, and look, I left the cap off the pen. Ooh, bad me. All right, so now we're gonna dry this, okay, and then we're gonna put the details in. Hi, this is Ginger Cook, and while we're on a drying break, I want you to see that if you're into if you want to do more of a themed, winter themed painting, have sort of a holiday look. Here's a man, he's kind of dragging his tree up the walk. This is one of the paintings we have on gingercooklive.gallery. It's on our video lesson library, and originally this painting was done over 150 years ago, which I think is cool, that, people still carry these traditions on. So this is on a 9x12 canvas, and again, we have this available on our website, gingercooklive.gallery. Now on YouTube, last year we did this fun little painting of a snowman in a sort of Thomas Kincaid style cottage. And if we have a great look, check out our holiday playlist on YouTube. Got all kinds of snow scenes from the cute. Cinema and I did the art trip. She and I did some really cute nutcrackers. If you're looking for just some holiday themes to kind of decorate around, and don't forget to check out the Christmas wreath. I show you guys how to make an artist Christmas wreath. That is absolutely fabulous, where you take brushes and tubes of paint and candy and glue it all over a wreath. Got a great one for that, and some super ideas. So anyway, let's get back to our painting, but I want to just remind you that not just our website, which has some fabulous winter paintings, but we've been up on YouTube long enough where don't miss out on all these great holiday ideas. All right, now, see if I can find my seagull again. Now, what do I know for sure? I know that my seagull's got a little tiny eye, right, like this. There's a little eye. And his wings, he's got dark over his back like this. There's wing number 1. And then he's got some real dark tail feathers back this way. All right. So once we put that in, then I will just add I'll just take a little purple and blue and a little cad red medium, and I'll make kind of a gray color with some white. Just make a little gray color. Doesn't have to be black for his wings, but we know that they're darker here, like that. So we're going to just put this in here like that and bring that back here like this. Here we go. Okay. Now, I can take a little accent color, make this a little darker under here. All right, now what? Let's see. I think one of my bigger problems today has been being out of white paint. All right, let's just try some more white paint somewhere that possibly we could use. Okay, you ready? Now I'm gonna get. Let's see. This little pointed brush is not working. It's too long and pointy. It's fine for little grasses with the wrong brush. Let's try this little tiny bright brush, little miniature bright brush, because I want the top of his head to be whiter now. Okay, coming in here like that. All right, so already that's better. And then I'm going to just say that a little bit of purple and white. I'm going to say there's the underside of his tummy here. Now, the thing of it is that that's a little dark. I'll put a little more white with that, but it's not as white as the top of his head because he's facing this way and the light's coming from that way. And we'll just add a few little wingy things here. Okay. And now let's take a little bit of phthalo green and white. And let's just go around him and make him show up. Okay, so let's just make this little bird show up. And just erase anything. I mean, there were some white waves and stuff here that are kind of interfering. So, you know, wherever there's a light, there's a dark. So if I want this bird to show up, I'm going to have to make it a little bit lighter where he is. Or she is. Could be a she, right? Okay, and then I'm going to say that, here, so let's just lighten all this up like that, right next to him. Make his legs very skinny, which we can do. Okay, better. Okay, so far so good. Now a little more white paint here on the top of his head. And part of his body. And for sure some little white on his tail, like that. Alright, so now let's back out and see how we like it. Alright, zooming back out. Okay, so now we've got this cute little bird sitting on top of our, let's get some yellow and white, maybe give his beak a little color. And I've got to make his eye darker. I could use it's an almond shape. Let's just come back here and get his eye there like that. All right, so now we've got, yeah, better, huh? A little bit darker under the tip here like this. And here's his little legs coming down like that. All right, so we've got a seagull there. All right, took a while to get the seagull, but that's okay. I don't mind. I needed the seagull in. So I'm going to say, we're going to do something else. And you're going, really? Honestly, we're going to do something else? Yeah. I'm going to bring our palm tree down a little bit on this side into the sand, like that. Just bring that down. So how are we doing now? All right, so now that I feel like that's friendly, you've got this little seagull, and you've got some flying in the background, which are so far away you don't have to talk about those, okay? And maybe I'd like some bright green. Here's some phthalo green, which is all dried up. If this happens to you, you know, toward the end of the painting, things get gone. You know, your paint dries up. I've got a fan going in here. We've got hot lights. My paint's drying up. Just put a little more out. I want a really bright color, some bright green right here. And I want to bring some bright colors around like this on my palm tree, right next to my seagull. Just needed to brighten that up a little bit because he was not showing up as well as I'd like. And I could do that. I could just there we go. So again, you've got wherever there's a light, there's a dark. If you're seeing, I mean, I was just trying to, do something for a kind of a cute holiday card that would be a little bit different. You got a seagull, and then let's see what else. Got a basket. You've got this. Um, this is fine. But I'm going to go ahead and put in another. I'm just looking at this now, going, I like this. Right, like this. I like this, but would I like another palm tree in there? That's the question. What would happen if I had another little palm tree there? Would that sort of take away from Santa? Of our little guys? I mean, you could do more of these. You could decorate these like your whole family, right? And which would be fun, right? I mean, you certainly could. All right, how crazy can we be with this? You guys are willing to play with me a little longer? How crazy can we be with this? Okay. What if we? All right, we can take it off. You all saw it. We can take it off if we don't like it. Yeah. What do you think of some Christmas stockings hanging down from the sign? What do you think? Well, that's kind of cute, right? Maybe in gold, bright yellow. Now, does that add anything to it? What I'm just saying, you could do that. I think if you were going to do it, they almost have to be red and white. Let's just see. I mean, to me, they almost have to be. We'll put some red on top of it, maybe some gold, and we'll take a little cad red here and put something on the toe. All right, so you've got some stockings hanging down. I mean, if you wanted to say that you to add that, that would be cute. And you could have some stockings hanging from your sign. I mean, how holiday do you want to make this? I mean, again, you can't teach a good idea. Maybe you've got a better idea than me, and that's fine. I'm up for that. Put a little yellow out. All right, I've got some stockings hanging down there from the sign. Bikini top. I don't know. How racy do you want to make this? Instead of that, well, that would be interesting too. Just wow. And then you could do. I mean, I'm telling you, just bear with me a minute. You could put another palm tree over here, kind of do a clothesline. That's kind of high though, isn't it? I don't know. I'm just having fun with this, and I hope you don't mind because it is sort of fun when you're doing stuff like this. Okay, so a couple little stockings hanging down. Of course, there would be a shadow where those were too, wouldn't there? There'd be a little shadow right like that under these to indicate they're off the ground. And oh yeah, for the bird, there might be a little shadow here where the bird is too. I don't know, where's the bird? He's down here though. Okay, never mind. We won't. Let's not get too complicated. You're going, man, Ginger, you're getting punchy. Okay, well, no, because this is how I create. Sometimes you guys never see how I create a picture. You know what I mean? I might try something 3 or 4 times and go, yeah, that's a good idea, or nah, it's not such a great idea. Not such a good idea at all, right? This would seem like a good idea, but now I really don't think it is. Now I'm looking at this lights and darks. What can I do for the lights and darks? Do I need anything lighter? Do I need something darker? Make something a little lighter under here like that for my, my little sock here. Just take, if you're going to send this out as a card, if you're going to make a print of this, which I want you to be able to do, I want you to go ahead. This is the kind of my print exception rule. go ahead and print these out if you want. Send these out as cards. You know, that's fine. Okay. That's all right. I don't mind. I think that's sort of fun. I think it's really fun if you do that. If you want to add some more snow people, you know, you could probably put a few more here. You could have another seagull sitting right on his hat right here, going this way too, which might be kind of cute. Maybe that's how you. I'm just saying you could have that. Let's see. Is this dried enough to put his eye a little darker, right like that? There. I just wanted to make sure his. Now I'm going to come around here on his wings. All right, good. I'm going to just do that and do the top of his head. Got his eye too big. There you go. See, look, eye's got to be smaller. It looks weird. Okay, you guys, that's it. I give up. Whatever else you come up with, I hope you do it and have fun with it. You can. This is to me the fun of being, you know, creative and being artists, is that no two people are going to have the same idea of how they do something. Feel free to sign your name. And for instance, if you were going to sign it, you know, I mean, if you're going to sign the picture, you know, you can just, you know, I will sign it. You know, I'm going to sign it in this case, Ginger Cook. I normally just sign it Cook. But if I was signing it for a card, that's how I'd sign it. Ginger. Boy, that didn't sign at all. You know, this is a day. Hasn't it been a day, you guys? Plan B, new signature. Now look, did you know you could do that with these? You can't do those with oil painting pens. All right, so Ginger didn't like that, so it's just doing it again, right? Okay. All right, I'm not going to get cute. Just signing Cook. Obviously, I can't spell my first name. This is just Cook. All right, we're signing it like that, and I want to come over here and do some fuzzies in this hat, like that, little fuzzies. Make his eyes a little smaller too. There you go. Ah, perfect. Okay, I am done. Where's my red slash through the name? You're going, she's never done, but I am done. I'm going to do an introduction and you know, thank you very much for, you know, watching. Hope you had fun. I hope if you're living in a tropical climate, like my friends in Florida and my friend Andrew in Haiti, and you were sending out holiday cards, how fun would it be to do something a little bit different? I just ask you, how fun would that be? And that you certainly can do something different. And I hope that you do. This is, you're going to go, what else is she doing? This is a bright red. That was naphtha crimson. I want to show you what happens when we do. This is actually cad red medium. I'm just going to come right out of the, reds are one of those colors that are quite happy when you give them a second coat. There, I'm going to just give him a second coat of red. Look, it made a difference, didn't it? I mean, you can see it, can't you? Made a difference to have the red, second coat of red here on his scarf, like that. And the same thing here. What about on these socks? Now, oh gosh, can I say this? Nobody be upset with me, okay? But you know, that would be really funny. Maybe not to everybody, but to me, just part of me is thinking about that, right? Okay, so here's another card idea. You could have some antlers that were coming up and kind of buried in the sand, but maybe not good for everybody. Little police tape going across there. I don't know. Anyway. Depends on how you feel about the holidays. I hope everybody has a great one. I hope I got this to you in time, and which I think I did, right? I really think I got this to you in time to get your to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and just A little highlight on the little footies here. Okay. All right. We've got it, you guys. Happy holidays. Bye.
I'm a student, I say with glee, of Ginger Cook's Academy. Take your time and do not rush. Use ruby satin, silver brush. Don't use black and mix the green. Learn what blend and grayscale mean. Yes, I hope each day to earn coaching praises as I learn. I'll be an artist, wait and see. Ginger means the world to me.